Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark side of the Podocasts. And thank you. Podcast is your home for rational crypto news and I don't even know what camera I'm on here. Rational crypto news and leaving emotion at the door. I feel like it's this one. Leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. As a matter of fact, tonight we are not offering any advice whatsoever. I don't know if you guys knew this about me. I'm sure if you follow us over on OmniFlix, you're kind of aware of it. I'm a huge horror movie fan. I love low budget horror, man. That is right there in my wheelhouse. It makes me feel capable, like I can do this or some shit like that. But I absolutely adore lower budget horror. I like modern stuff. I'll still argue to this day that the greatest horror movie ever made was The Thing. The Thing. I mean, I'm sorry, man. That's way up there on top. I don't really get into vampires anymore because how many vampires am I supposed to give a shit about? That's where we're at. I mean, the market is so saturated. I'm like, I don't care, man. It doesn't mean anything to me. But shock horror, psychological horror, and slashers. I love anything from the 70s and the 80s. The Wickets were perfect. You know that you were going to see pretty girls naked and people just getting massacred in beautiful and unique ways. And that's it, man. That's it. That's my wheelhouse. That's where I want to live. But a funny thing happened, and that's what's going to lead up to this entire show. We watched, pulled a show randomly off from Tubi, and we have the producer of that is on here with us right now. But the name of the title of the movie was "Don't F in the Woods." That was it. I was like, oh, I got to see this. I mean, we were on this massacre train, Mountaintop Motel Massacre. It's as bad as it sounds. Bloody Bible camp, anything with massacre in the title, we were kind of hitting them. So when I saw this one, I was like, all right, I think I get it. I understand the premise of the movie with the art on the box was pretty good. I was like, yeah, let's take a look at this. But
someone happened to clue him in that Tubi had a lot of underrated movies.
Yeah,
I don't know who that was, but someone did.
And that kind of got us drifted over that way. Anyway, I put out a tweet about it. Chris saw the tweet. I have no idea how tuned in he is on Twitter, but he saw the tweet, sent me a message, and next thing you know, here we are. And we watched another movie. This came recommended. The name of the movie was Head. Just like that. I was like, Head. And when I heard the title and I thought about, low budget horror, I was like, oh, we're going to be borderline porn on this one. I have to see it. And I mentioned that to Chris and he said, no, dude, it's puppets. I was like, it's what? It's like, it's what? Puppets? So, color me intrigued. And we covered it last Saturday over on OmniFlix. We didn't get many people tuning in, but I'll tell you what, you guys missed because this is definitely unique. I love unique, anything down there in that genre. And what you guys are looking at right now is the director of the movie. Jon, welcome to the show. Go ahead and why don't you tell everybody about yourself, brother. You got
Hello. Yeah, I'm Jon. I'm the guy who wrote and directed Head. Chris is the executive producer on it. And he also did Don't Fuck in the Woods. I wrote, directed, and I built all the puppets, and I'm a puppeteer on it. I did a lot on that flick. And I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm glad you found it on Tubi.
Dude, I thought, honestly, man, look, I enjoyed it from start to finish. I had a pretty good idea what I was going to get when I got into the movie, and you know what I mean by that. The formula. And
yes.
And you really stuck to the formula on that. The fact that you had a topless, that you had bare-breasted puppet.
Right.
As soon as
Two of them.
I stood up. I was applauding in my own studio.
In the first 10 minutes. Like, the whole point was to, hit all the cliches of a horror movie from, the 70s, 80s in the first 15 minutes. And I think we did.
And you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it, man. I mean, I got to give you another round of applause just for that one, man, because come on. Puppets are great. Naked puppets are even better. I was oh God, that's it, man. This guy gets us.
When you're making the puppets too, it's like I built the puppets and I'm alone in my studio making boobs. And that alone is just an absurd moment in your life.
No, man, that's glory. I don't think
great absurdity, but absurd, yeah.
Yeah, and it was absolutely wonderful. I'll tell you what, man. There was one scene in the movie. We only got one comment on this. One comment. But no, we don't get many viewers, dude. We're just starting to really push into the social space into horror because we're both big horror fans. We got one comment, and it was the hug. It was the hug scene. That's the only one that we got to comment on. Belle and I, if we MST3K'd it, so you hear us talking over and over on Omniflix, and we were leading up to it. I was like, watch, she's gonna friend zone him. And he moved in, and she went for the hug, and Belle and I
everyone can relate to it, you know.
Exactly, man. It was absolutely perfect. We actually got a comment, so that resonated with other people. So maybe there's more cliches for maybe there's some more cliches that we can slam in there for Head 2, because I do know that there's a sequel possibility in this. We watched it all the way to the end, so there is a sequel possibility on that. The only thing I will beg of you, I will partially finance it. I want to be one of the puppets. All right, you gotta let me do some voicing on this, dude. You know, I sound pleasant enough. I mean, I'm not, main grade, but I'm pleasant enough. I gotta voice one of the puppets. I have to, dude. That's it. Belle will do girls. She'll even do sex stuff. Watch it, Belle. She's dying to crack into the movie with a puppet. Yeah.
You know what? We'll go with puppets.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, man, look, I interrupted you. I had to mention that. Go ahead and let's talk about your fascination with puppets. Why puppets? What got you into puppets?
Oh man, I'm a kid of the '70s. I was born in the mid '70s. Like Sesame Street was at its peak. The Muppet Show was just blowing up. The Muppet movie was like one of the first movies I saw in a theater as a kid. And from there, I just kind of fell in love with puppetry, and always wanted to do it. Always wanted to try it, but you're a kid, you don't even know where to start. So tons of toy puppets, all that. Anything with a puppet always fascinated me. Whether it was a movie, a TV show, a live show, and just life went in different directions, like for everybody. And I always want to make movies too, so the two kind of went hand in hand. Got more into comic book art. It was doing a lot of art, and then one day, me and some friends who were doing the comics were like, we should make a movie out of this comic. And this is before there was a Marvel movie every week. And we never made that movie, but we realized in the idea of trying to make the movie that none of us were good looking enough to be actors. So we thought, we'll make puppets. I love puppets. I love the Muppets. And literally we were watching one of the Muppet movies one night. I'm like, let's just do this. And it literally, once I started making puppets, it just took over my life. And it hit me that, puppetry isn't a genre. It's a medium for telling stories. So why not do horror movies? Why not do action movies? Why not do sitcoms? Not everything has to be family friendly, so it just really took over. And I just, to this day, I just keep doing them. We're still making stuff, we're still going. It's been over 20 years and we've been making movies nonstop. It's awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic. And Chris, you are here, Chris, right? You're still with us?
I'm floating around somewhere.
All right, brother. I got a serious question for you here, man. So you and Jon, you were friendly before he started making movies, or did you guys just kind of bump into each other due to making movies?
Mutual friend.
Okay.
Mutual friend. The other producer, Ricky, went to college with him, and we kind of worked together. And he had contacted me when they were doing the crowdfunding campaign. He's like, hey, we're trying to, raise money for this puppet horror movie. And I'm like, oh, that sounds funny. Let me, I had some contacts in the horror world from, shorts and stuff that I had playing some festivals, and I do my own, grassroots marketing, send out press releases and things like that. So I had the contacts. I said, let me start writing, some press for you, do some marketing and try to get the word out there. And I was told it helped because they made their campaign funding. So
I got to ask, man, when you saw the script for Head and you said, oh, puppets, what went through your head at that? Right there, you said, oh, this is a hit. What went through your head, man?
Oh, I was just like, I didn't even see a script. I just heard puppet hordes, and I'm just like, I'm on board.
I was just saying, Chris, did you ever read the script before?
No, I was just like, hey, let me just jump
awesome.
on board.
I didn't know
That's
that.
amazing. No,
that's awesome. We didn't write it to be a puppet movie. We wrote it to be like a straight horror movie, but like a tribute to like the 70s, 80s stuff, like a tribute / parody / homage, but we ended up we loved puppets already. We couldn't really find a cast, so we went with puppets. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Chris. I just wanted to point that out, that it was written to be a straight film, not a puppet film. But it was better with the puppets.
But it's a straight film, but with puppets. And it's like I keep hearing comments from people who've seen it before. It's like they start watching it and like, oh, what are we watching? It's a puppet horror movie. But then they get into it, they forget their puppets. And then they're like, oh, you feel sorry for these characters who are getting their heads chopped off.
You know, I wanted to, but I really wanted to see them get their heads chopped off. That's where it came down to. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see this happen, Chris. I was like, oh, let's kill the puppet. And I would have loved to have another couple cliches or something like that. Oh my God, he chopped the stuffing out of him or something. You know, puppet.
We actually avoided that on purpose.
Oh God, it seems like gold.
Because like the if you start doing the puppet jokes, it's not a horror movie anymore. It's just full on parody now, and so many puppet filmmakers lean too much into let's make puppet jokes, and then you lose the story. So we purposely avoided that. We talked about maybe having it be like bloody felt that comes out instead, but they're like, no, let's go with fake blood. Let's do the whole blood thing.
Fake blood was better. Yeah, fake blood was better.
Every time you turn around, there's some new puppet maker and puppet filmmaker putting out a film, and they immediately make a joke about a fist up a butt because that's what puppets are. And we wanted to avoid all those kind of puppet cliches and just stick to the horror cliches. Yeah.
Are there that many puppet movies?
Oh my God. Go on YouTube and just start looking up puppet horror, and you're going to find, and puppetry in general. Yeah. Like a lot of people just, especially in America, we're so just conditioned to think puppets are Muppets and puppets are for kids. But if you just digging deep, there's so many. Like when we were putting Head out, there were 3 other puppet horror movies coming out within a year of it. And some other like random, like even the Henson Company put out a R-rated puppet movie the same time our distribution was hitting, you know. So it's there, yeah. They leaned on all the cheesy puppet jokes, like you're better than that.
I would have never thought that. I would have never thought that there's a subculture up there around puppets. But now you've intrigued me. I'm not going to ask you to name names because they can go do their own damn podcasts and pitch their own shit.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm not about that. But we will talk offline. I want to know what your favorite one. I want to know what your favorite one is. What do you think there, Belle?
Yeah, I could see why you guys didn't go with the standard puppet jokes. I mean, yeah, it kind of takes away from creation of the characters. You want them to be individuals. Mm-hmm. I mean, I worked at a scream park, and yeah, I had my own unique character that was not your typical person. So
yeah, I don't do that. I'm a completely empty vessel. You tell me what you want me to be, that's what I'm going to be. That's what I got to do some voice work for you, brother. I'm ready and set up.
Well,
for that.
In comparison, everyone else who worked with me at the Scream Park, because they didn't have their own characters, sucked.
Okay, I believe that's quite the passion that you have there, Belle. It's a side of you I've never seen up until this very moment. So look, man, I got to. We'll get back to Head, but I need to know, is a Head 2 planned?
Head 2 is in the works. Head 2, a spin-off web series. They're actually have another web series that kind of ties into it that we're working on as well. And all good horror films have trilogies, so there'll most likely be a Head 3 if we can get financing. So yeah, we're getting there. It's gonna happen. Chris, what do you think?
I'm on board. I mean, I'm on board for any and all Head sequels. So.
Can we call it Head 3 the headiest?
Oh God.
No.
We had people that have worked with us in the past, like everyone was like pitching ideas and titles, and they were all, more head till you're dead, things like that. Give them head, got head. It was just like we'll see.
Who doesn't love Head?
Who doesn't love Head? That one just seems like it has cliche written all over it, man.
Hey, Godhead is like the hashtag we were using for a while because everyone wants to get head, so Godhead.
If there was one movie, I'm gonna get lost on my desert island. I can only bring one movie with me ever. That movie's gonna be Airplane.
Oh, nice.
I just want to make sure you know where I'm coming from.
Surely
the movie that's coming. Serious. Sure, I am.
Oh, no,
I'm not going to say it.
Serious.
That's the one that's coming with me because I love the fact that they did it first. They were the very first people to really parody and make fun of fucking everything. And the best line in that entire movie, which for some reason never gets quoted, even though I have it over here, I have the sound effect over here on my stream deck. It's like, would you like? Do you have it? Would you like something to read? Yes. Do you have anything light? And he's having this leaflet on famous Jewish sports heroes. That was the funniest line in that entire movie, and you literally couldn't make it today. And that's always the theme that I kind of stick around and why I love what the smaller independent people are doing, because you couldn't make Airplane today. You
No.
couldn't make Blazing Saddles today. There are just an endless list of movies that you couldn't make today. But you guys don't give a fuck. You're going to whatever. We're going to do whatever the hell we want.
Our general motto at Elmwood Productions, our team is if we're entertained, we're not trying to offend anybody, and if we're entertained, then somebody else will be too. And if you are offended, we weren't trying to. Yeah.
I don't know. Where are you at on that, Chris? Because it kind of falls in your lap.
Oh, like Don't Fuck in the Woods?
Yeah, just like that. Just like that, man. Where are you at with all that, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always hoping for trilogies, and I'd love to see Head 3, and I'm hoping to see Don't Fuck in the Woods 3 as well. So
we
of course you got to watch part 2 first.
Well, I told you, dude, we're not going to until you can join us on the stream, so we can have producer commentary while we're watching Don't Fuck in the Woods 2. So I'm kind of hoping on that. Do we have the same level of like nudity and violence? Because if we do, dude, I'm there. I'm on board.
Yeah, and even a little more so because we were able to double our budget.
Oh man.
So we got even more naked girls. So let you know as soon as we can coordinate it with Chris. And John, you're welcome too, man. Look, you're a filmmaker, bro. I'm sure
I
you
haven't
don't...
seen part 2 yet, so I would love to be a part of
There it
Like,
is.
It's on
yeah,
Tubi.
I own the Blu-ray of part 1. Proud of that. Yeah.
I'm having so much fun here, man. You know what'd be fun is Don't Fuck in the Woods puppet version of it. That would be at a spinoff with
good like
puppets.
bonus feature, like a one scene shot with puppets or something. Yeah.
The same thing with
That needs to happen. That absolutely needs to happen.
I'll pitch it to my director, Sean, and I can hook us all up together, John.
Sean's a good guy, seems like, so that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He's really laid back.
I am going to have to get Skya in for this, though, because I'm going to be seriously outnumbered by you guys.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that unless you're in front of the camera, the behind the camera is probably a sausage fest. But I don't know, Chris. Do you understand what I mean by that? Am I being subtle enough?
No, I do. You're not far off.
There you go. So, nothing wrong with that, man. All right, so we heard from John. I'd like to hear from Chris, man. Look, first time on the show. Why don't you tell everybody about yourself? What you do? What gets you off? How did you get into this industry? What keeps you in this industry? What really revs Chris's engine? Go ahead and take it away, boss. It's all you.
I grew up in Cleveland. And my mom was always a big fan of horror movies, and every Saturday they had the Big Chuck and Little John show, where it's almost like a public access show where they would show old horror movies and had little skits in between. So I grew up on that, grew up on 80s horror movies, and just really just love them. And then I was like, all right, I want to go to school and make movies, and went off to college, went to film school, also went to broadcast television. And I kind of fell back on the broadcast television thing and started working at a station in Toledo for almost 10 years. And while there, I was able to start hooking up with people like John and, start helping producing on low budget horror movies, and Sean as well. Just really like the aspect of it, and, big fan, and then moved out to LA and, working in TV news out here and trying to do the same thing too out here, but on a bigger scale, but still, stay close to, my roots.
So you're kind of tiptoeing through the raindrops between broadcast news, which that's what you're doing now, right? Broadcast news, yeah. Between broadcast news and B horror, you're kind of tiptoeing through the raindrops, aren't you? I mean, your circle of friends must be very interesting, all the way across, man. Am I wrong here?
No, I got friends from all aspects. I when I first moved out here, I got an editing job on a show called Mr. Pickles. It was on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim. It was basically about this satanic dog that kills people, but it's also very wholesome.
All right then. I got nothing here about. Carry on, dude.
But yeah, no, it was a cool way to kind of break into the entertainment industry out here. And there's the guy that I worked with, the head production supervisor. He does artwork, he does drawings, and he also does stained glass now. And he does, his artist name is called Satan Dong.
Jesus, the shit that happens in this industry is so this is fascinating, man. Look, I've been me and Bella have been eat, drinking, living, and sleeping in crypto for the last 6 years, and it's I mean, it's still passionate. That's my money, honey. So yes, I'm going to be very, very interested in all that stuff. But as far as the social aspect of it, it's kind of dying off. And we've always wanted to do horror. We've always wanted to be around there. We wanted to set up like the low public access kind of Elvira show, where you're talking about the cheap sets and the grain, just and do that, and then just go on there and make fun of movies and stuff like that. And but there's a passion to it, man. Like the MST3K guys. It doesn't mean you don't like the movie. It's just you see a funny joke and you slide it in, and that's what we've been trying to do. And so we just spun this up. But again, it's all about the social aspect of it. So I didn't know that there were horror conventions and films and screenings and all that other good stuff. You're the one who turned me on to that. So me and Belle we have to get out there. Why is Belle so dark, dude? Literally, why is she so dark? You're looking at the screen the same way I'm looking at the screen. Why is she so fucking dark?
Because
you're a camera guy.
Because
this is
I'm
literally
the
what you do.
mysterious one. That's why I'm dark.
Too high up.
Is that what it is? Do I got to move a light?
I think the light needs to be tilted up a little.
You say when? Look, man, you got pros.
This is the best part about live television.
Yep, there you go.
Is that too much, or is that good, or is she too washed out?
It's not too bad, but like I said, you gotta get some of those dryer sheets on there to cut down the.
Dryer sheets, yes, that's what we will do.
So put the tracing paper over the thing.
I can't get up again. I already got up once. We're live, Belle. All right, it's not like we edit. We don't unless Chris wants to start editing our videos, in which case we're gonna go in a whole different direction out here. I got a hunch he's a little busy.
We're not editing.
So, John, what project do you have going on right now? What's got you revved? Yes, we want to talk about what's coming up. So what do you got?
We've been working. We've been releasing stuff every week on our YouTube channel for over a year now. A lot of short films, a lot of skits. We just released back for Halloween an all puppet remake of Plan 9 from Outer Space, which got some good response. And right now, we kind of touched on a little bit the next few big things we'll be doing. We did you mentioned the horror hosting with this character named Graveyard Gill, who's in Head. He does the hosting for Head.
I loved him. I loved that character.
Cool. He's got his own playlist on YouTube where he hosts other movies Elmwood we've made, horror related things. There's these two short films called Jungle Man and Jungle Woman. This summer we're shooting the part 3. They're like 20 minutes of that. That's the next big thing we're shooting. We're working on a short film right now, a comedy called New Best Friend about clones. And then when we wrap all this stuff up, the next 2 things we really are going to start focusing on is so the next big thing would be the Head sequels. So like I said, we kind of touched on that already. So that's the next big thing we'll be doing. And then we have this other family friendly web series called Animal Behavior that we're gonna do more episodes of. That's been coming out for the past year. We're done shooting it for now. We're gonna do a series 3 and 4 for it though. But yeah, the next big stuff is probably going to be more Head stuff, like for feature films.
You got to do it, man. Like
it's been 10 years. I mean,
I told Belle I was going to ask. She said don't ask, but I'm going to ask anyway.
No, I told you wait until Tuesday.
This is Tuesday. Can I say it now, or what are we doing here? Now you just completely derailed me. Look at John; he's embarrassed for me.
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, dude. Can I purchase? I'm getting all fanboyed right now.
You are.
Can I want? Can I have any kind? I will purchase any kind of Head memorabilia from the movie.
We have. I mean, we have DVDs for sale.
Oh no, I don't want that. I want a prop.
You want a prop?
I want a prop.
Ooh.
See, if you see
you've
right
seen the movie, so like when the puppets died,
yeah,
they were covered in blood, and it's not like you can Scotch guard these things and then throw them in the washing machine.
This is a problem. This is a problem. How?
I don't care. Do you still have them?
Well, what happened was we were trying to save them. Some of them did get saved. The ones that didn't get too bloody, they got set aside, and the puppeteers were given them, and we were done because we knew we weren't going to necessarily use most of them again.
Yeah.
A few of them did end up in like these garbage bags to store, and when we opened them, the mold smell was so bad because they got wet. I mean, there's a whole making of series on our YouTube channel that shows you we dealt with rain almost every day. I think, and puppets and water don't get along very well, so a lot of that stuff didn't survive. We have posters. I'm trying to think what we might
Posters.
have.
I would love a poster.
I'll send you a poster, man.
Will you sign
me
it?
your address later. I'll send you posters.
Can you sign it and
Yeah.
we'll get with Chris and
I'll
Chris will
get
sign.
everyone that worked on the film that I still see, like that's part of the team.
I
Because
would
not everybody who
adore
worked on
that,
the
bro.
film was like permanent with them. They were there for the one movie. They were cast, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll get people to sign it. And we'll send it your way.
You see the studio. You see how much room we have,
You need
and
something on the wall.
right here between us, we're gonna set up the shelves for all of the merch and memorabilia and stuff that we get from the horror movies. I have a signed Art the Clown.
Oh,
I met him.
awesome.
I met him at a Comic-Con. The guy is fucking wonderful.
We
by
did
the
a
way.
horror con
Oh my god!
once. It was the best time. I met Romero right before he died at it. It was great. Yeah.
I bet you there's some weird shit that happens there. Something just tells me that there's a lot of weirdness that's going to occur
Fun
on a
stuff
horror
for
con.
sure.
Yeah. Well, I
we'll get
mean,
you something for sure.
It's
I'll get
a
you
party.
posters. We'll just
I
like
mean-
no puppets left. Yeah.
I mean, it can't be much weirder than what happens at Ren fairs after close.
It's the
yeah.
same people. Yeah.
And that's it. And the fact that you guys are not making Ren Fair horror movies is a little bit shocking to me. Dude, you won't have to pay your extras anything. They would be thrilled.
Do it. Yeah.
I've already written it. I have several of them. I'm not pitching, but dude, that's like such low hanging fruit. I like anything with anything that has characters like that. I like anything with clowns. For some reason, clowns. I love clown movies. Anything around fun parks, like Slaughter at the State Fair.
I've
I
always
love
wanted to do
all
something
that
with an
shit.
amusement park, but like just the budget,
Oh, it's gonna get. I don't know, Chris.
Chris is laughing, he knows.
Are those going to be expensive to lease out a fun park to make a movie?
Well,
Just the insurance coverage.
Ugh.
Well, okay. I mean, I do know the people who own Slaughterhouse here in Des Moines. I mean,
That's a whole different thing. Yeah, that's
Well, you're
I
talking.
was thinking more like big amusement, but that's an awesome like the attractions maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, anything around that would be awesome.
They lease a huge warehouse downtown. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ian would love working with these guys.
How about this? Anybody in the audience? Is this something that you guys that would resonate well with you guys? Is this something that, like, if they spun up a movie or something like that, and we gave you full coverage all the way through it from start to finish, all the way through release? Is this something that you guys would be interested in? Is this something you would tune in for? Is this something you would tell your friends about? Because this whole thing over here is marketing. If people have never heard of the movie, they're not going to watch the movie. You catch them with box art and some of that other stuff, but the people who are like passionate in the industry, that kind of thing, that enjoy this stuff, they're the ones who are going to build up this whole, big community, little cult community around, stuff like this. I mean, let's be real here, man. Let's be honest. Rocky Horror Picture Show was a god-awful movie. That thing was terrible from start to finish. The script sucked. The acting was not good. The sets were falling apart. It literally happened in a couple things. You saw Tim Curry looked down and saw, what did I break? But the dynamic that fills around one of these things, man, look, this is the way it is now. All right. I mean, that's it. Belle, you keep waving your hand. Are you agreeing or going to add in?
I'm going to add in, okay? So, Rocky Horror, yes, the movie sucks. But it's because of people like you guys that turned that into a cult classic, and it's going multi-generational now.
And as
cult classic can't be produced; it just has to find its audience. Yeah,
and that's what I'm looking for, John. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's spun up around that stuff because it's. You can't really describe it. I mean, are you a Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of guy?
Yeah, I do like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm not going to say it's the greatest movie ever made. I do really enjoy it because I understand what it is, and when you go in with that mentality, yeah, of course you're going to enjoy it. It's a B movie. It was a B musical to start with. It was a tribute. It was like a lot of ways it was like Head because it was a tribute / parody to a certain thing where they were making fun of sci-fi films. We were goofing on horror films, I can't imagine Head being a musical though.
Oh God, if you did.
But if somebody came to me today and said, "Hey, I will give you tons of money and we're going to go make a Head musical like they did with Little Shop of Horrors," I'll sell out in a heartbeat. Because Little Shop of Horrors was also just a B horror movie that became a musical.
I did.
Somebody was like, "What is selling out?" I'm like, selling out is paying your bills. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah. Now I'm half tempted to jump off the stream and go call Kevin and go, Kevin, Hey.
Yeah, some other friends that were some folks that were friendly with it, also kind of in the B movie industry. Not what you're doing. They do something else, or some other stuff, but just fun people, man.
Creativity, though. That's what they would help script out a musical version of Head.
I'm sure they would. All right, Belle, do we have any questions, comments, concerns, or observations for either John or Chris?
Are you kidding me? Of course we've got lots of comments.
Serve it up.
All right. So, wow. Nuclear Chicken started off the show with a bunch of jokes, which are absolutely hilarious, and I think everyone needs to hear them. So, what's the secret to us having a smoking hot body as a senior?
I don't know what this. I have no idea.
Cremation.
Nope. Boo,
I get it.
Nuclear Chicken. Boo, boo.
I like that one. So Scott's wrong.
No.
All right. So, what is a prize old people can win for aging?
I don't know, but I do notice that as I'm flipping through the screen that there's a lot of gray hair sitting on this stage and on the big monitor up there. So, no, I don't know.
Don't talk about the silver that's showing up in my hair. Good God. Okay.
A lot
anyway.
of gray hair up here. That's all I'm saying.
Atrophy.
Atrophy.
Yep.
Nope. Boo, Nuclear Chicken. Boo.
All right, Nuclear Chicken.
One guy commenting. That's it.
I used to know a couple who grew fruit trees together. They lived to a ripe old age.
Where are the age jokes coming from? What is this? Is that because of Chris or is it because of John?
It's my white beard. It's all the white.
Is that it? Because I mean, I got a puffy beard here. I need to commission a puppet from you, by the way.
Oh,
I want it to look just like me.
The bread and butter is commissions of portraits of people. So
yep, I want it to look just like me because we're gonna do two things with it. One, we're gonna do a puppet crypto show because that's just hilarious. But the other one is that every now and again we get some very, very silly questions and they say explain it like you are explaining it to a 5-year-old. So I just want to put the puppet on and have the puppet explain it because there you go, Sesame Street, man.
And then he would know that a question for a 5-year-old is coming because well, you talked about getting one for me too. I'd put the puppet on and have the puppet ask.
We need a couple. We'll talk offline. Go ahead, Bob.
All right. Nuclear Chicken. Old age makes us great multitaskers. Why? I can sneeze and pee at the same time.
Boo, Nuclear Chicken. Boo, boo. I don't like any of it. Go ahead, Bill. Do we have questions? Is there anything for the questions for the
Can I interrupt really quick?
Of course you can. It's your show.
I was just going to ask, was that boo you just did, was that in reference to the Boo Ben video? Or am I just trying to toot my own horn?
I don't know what that is.
Years ago when I was working in Toledo, there was a guy running for mayor and his name was Ben Canup. And as he was trying to do a press conference, this guy in the background kept saying, boo, boo Ben, boo, boo, like the whole press conference. So like we had to move, but that clip went viral and they actually parodied it on South Park as well as Family Guy and the Cleveland Show.
Oh my God, I remember both parts of that. I literally remember because Stewie did. He said
Wendy,
boo, boo,
Wendy.
Yeah, boo, Wendy,
Yeah.
boo, yes.
I shot the original video.
It's funny.
Wow.
It's funny what you run into here on the podcast. We like I said, we got range here. Go ahead, Bill.
All right, Nuclear Chicken again. How is the moon like dentures? They both come out at night.
Lick my balls. Yeah, say that all the time.
Boo, boo, Nuclear Chicken. I'm going to keep doing it, man. Belle, do we have questions? We'll come back to the jokes.
All right, so Nuclear Chicken, who would have thought that Scott likes boobies? There we go.
Who doesn't? Everyone does, right?
I got nothing here. This is a different stream than we usually do, John. I assure you, we're usually quite professional. This is new. This is new ground for us. We'll get it.
This is fantastic.
We'll get it.
You gotta have fun. You know?
Hey,
Be open, have fun.
Just
It's all about the experience.
It's there you go.
So just because we tend to be professional does not mean our audience members who are throwing out these jokes and making these comments are, and I have to read them. So
No, I know. We can maybe bounce around a little bit. Well, I guess the next comment's from Nuclear Chicken.
No, actually,
All right,
no. So next comment coming in from Braden. I feel like I've seen this guy before. Now, Braden, you've got to be a little more specific
Which
here.
guy?
Are you talking?
Which guy here?
Yeah, are you talking about Chris, or are you talking? All right. Yeah,
And how do you know
are you talking
him,
about
Braden?
the puppet guy on the couch?
I mean, do we have to get out the doll so you can point to where what happened when you met them, or what's going on
Are
here,
you
dude?
talking about Chris? Are you talking about John? Or are you talking about the two puppet guys on the couch? Because all of those are an option,
Because if we need a doll, we got a puppet maker right here, man.
right?
We can hook it up.
Nuclear Chicken, I am not reading any of the next 3 jokes you put in. This is, yeah, I've already been the bad guy for having to deliver these. So sorry, man. They're funny, but no more. All right. So Nuclear Chicken does say, though, I thought the movie Head was great.
See, there you go.
There we go.
You go,
Thank you.
John and Chris. Yeah, we don't get a lot of viewers over there. We have to show them over on OmniFlix, and we will be exclusively over on OmniFlix. You could literally give me written permission to stream your movie, and YouTube will still give us a copyright strike,
Oh, yeah.
and then say, come back and fight us. So we have a
Ridiculous.
decentralized streaming platform that we go to, and they don't give a shit what we show. So you put more nudity in it. They're quite thrilled with that. So
Yeah, Head is through a distributor and all that, which is good because it protects us. But I totally get where you're coming from. Yeah,
Yep.
have some fun, you know.
So we stream it over to a decentralized platform that doesn't give a shit what we show, and that's why we're doing this. Go ahead, carry on. Beth.
But yeah, I mean, that was a valid point to Braden because there are 2 puppet guys on the couch there. I mean, come on.
And aside from they Chris will get some more gray in his beard, man, and we're gonna have the twins here. I mean, they're not too far off.
Leaning in close to the camera. Okay.
There you go. It even stayed in focus. My God, he is a pro. He knows his business. Go ahead.
All right. So Nuclear Chicken again. Even the puppets were so expressive. I don't know how, but they were.
That part of it is it's all about the performance. Like you can watch, I always go back to like you can watch the Muppets and you'll think Gonzo actually shed a tear, but he physically can't. It's about the performers, and some of the puppeteers in that were really, really, really good. Like we had a good, I was one of them, so I'll pat myself on the back, but we had a really good crew on that flick overall. I'd say like 75 to 80% were really, really great in that. And the puppets were easy to manipulate. We made some really good puppets for that. So thank you. I appreciate that. That means we did our job right because you really felt it.
Oh, dude, a lot of the stuff you got, it was wonderful. It was really, really wonderful. You put sex scenes in there, man. You put sex scenes in a puppet movie. That was awkward, but I was like, yeah,
supposed to be though, right?
It was supposed to be. That's how I know you nailed it. Because I felt awkward. I was like, what?
Should have been there for the outtakes. I mean,
that's what we want is the outtake reels, man. Give us the outtake reels.
There is an outtake reel.
On the original pressing of the DVD, there was like a 4 or 5 minute like outtakes blooper reel on the first pressing, and there was some great outtakes from the sex scene. Yeah.
Oh, there had to be, man. I gotta have that. I gotta have it.
I took I spoke at a college once in Valdosta, Georgia. I was a guest lecturer, and we brought Head there to watch, and it was so many like drunken high college students there. They loved it, and we actually showed the.
Oh, that's
blooper,
cool. You showed the
blooper reel. Yeah. Oh, they were having a hoot.
How did the college people respond to the hug?
This was 10 years ago. Yeah. I assume though, probably good. Yeah.
Everyone can relate to that.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway. And then the guy at the end shooting himself. The suicide. Our plans fall through, and I'm not going to be here for the rest of it.
On YouTube, there is a behind the scenes video of when we shot that, and the prop we used to make the gunshot go through his head didn't work properly. It was supposed to paint the wall with blood, and it blew up so bad it painted the ceiling of the space, and blood was just like dripping down on us.
Oh, and you didn't use
The
that?
screen goes black because we don't want to show necessarily, because it came out before the movie was released, I think. But all you hear is me as the director go, "Fuck."
That's I need that, John. I know you have it.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on the Elmwood YouTube channel. It's a whole playlist with all the making ofs.
Yeah. I need you to pull me that little sound effect, that little sound blurb. Send it to me, and I'll put it on my soundboard because that's great. I say that all the time.
I am totally gonna make that happen.
You just hear like this little like gunshot sound, and you just hear me go, "Fuck."
Yes, I mean we have. There you go. Look, man, I'm giving you a round of applause for that. Carry on, Belle.
All right, so Genevieve, everyone loves boobs. Everyone loves puppets.
Thanks, Jenna.
Is what I'm saying, man. Look, this is a match made in heaven. We could do puppet porn, John. Have you thought about really branching out? Puppet
can you guys have a minute for a really funny story?
It's your show, bro. We got all the time you need.
There is a Vinegar Syndrome has a puppet porn available that was made in the 70s.
Yes.
You can buy that. It's available. But when I was in the early days of being a puppet maker, I had somebody reach out to me to make 2 puppets, and he claimed it was for an educational film, and he wanted them fully anatomical.
Yeah.
So and this is like in 2002, and I just looked up his name, and this is early internet, and it was a dude who produced pornography, and I just politely declined, and he offered to double the pay. I still politely declined. I could have used the money. And then he came back to me a third time and was like, "Well, I won't put your name on it." And I was like, "Yeah, until I get some sort of success, then you'll put my name on it." And immediately he stopped contacting me.
I think that would have been solid gold, dude, because we'd have been playing that. Hey, you know what? Let me throw a movie scene at you. Team America.
Right.
Team America. They had the most gratuitous sex scene that I've ever seen out of marionettes. I'm sure you've seen the movie.
I think it's the only gratuitous sex scene with marionettes on film.
It was so over the top. It was fucking hysterical. Hysterical, man. So, yeah, we got to bring that. We got to bring it. We're bringing it back, Belle. We're bringing back puppet porn. Go ahead and carry on, please.
All right, so Nuclear Chicken. When that girl gave the guy a hug and his world just fell apart, that was just amazing.
Told you, dude. It's the hug.
All in the performance. Yeah, the puppeteer Mike, who played the guy, just did such a good job with that. Like, you could feel it. You could feel his pain.
His face. I don't know. I don't even know the face could be contorted like that. But it was like all of a sudden just so down and hangdog, and it was like, oh my god, this guy's world just got blew up. It was great, man. It was fantastic, and I used that whole thing all the way through when I was, throwing comments on. He brought Altoids and condoms. I was like, this is the guy with a plan right here, man. He got hugged.
And pillows.
This might come from my personal life, writing that
Don't forget the pillows.
I'm just saying, Altoids and condoms. That's what he went.
Don't forget the pillows.
And the pillows, yes, comfy pillows. Comfy
too.
pillow. That's all it takes. So if there's any females watching, there's no way we don't have a female audience.
And okay, any women watching this, if you're going camping and one of the guys brings a lot of pillows, give him a break. Come on.
Right? There's a round of applause for all the guys who bring pillows and Altoids and condoms, because he's thoughtful.
You gotta be comfortable.
You gotta be comfortable.
Yeah, you gotta be comfortable.
Carry it on, Belle.
All right, Nuclear Chicken. I want to see a Scott, Bella, and Eric puppet.
Yeah, we might have to get 3 puppets from you, John.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Listen to this next one, because Braden, I want to see a Braden puppet.
4 puppets.
Are Eric and Braden people that work with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Braden is my employee, and Eric is one of my business associates.
Nice.
So, yeah, absolutely, man. What they did. I just want to look. You see the stage, Chris, right? You see what we're sitting on? We could just put a big dais up here, and we could do a whole goddamn show right above it. Just we'll frame it up, and we'll do a puppet crypto show. Nobody's done that before, man. We'd be the first.
We definitely need to fly Eric up here for that.
Not a problem, man.
We need to make it happen.
Not a problem. Go ahead, Belle.
All right, so Nuclear Chicken, I watched the Muppets so much as a kid. I loved the 2 old guys up in the theater. As a kid, I was thinking to myself, that is who I want to be when I grow up.
What are those guys' names, John?
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf. Oh my God, he's all there. I want to be him. Honestly, yeah, and I'm with you. I want to be the old guy that just sits up there and bitches. I got the look. I'm ready, man. I'm absolutely ready. Go ahead, Belle.
Nuclear Chicken, any chance that there might be any cameos in Head 2? Maybe a Scott puppet or a puppet homage to Airplane.
It's funny because, like, in Head, if you really pay attention to what the puppets are, some of them are absolutely other actors that are known. So maybe
Which ones, dude? You got to give me a little
well,
something.
if you look back at Bruce, the main character, the
Yeah.
guy, the main dude who gets the hug, it's definitely Bruce Campbell.
No, I didn't pick up on that, but that's wonderful.
A lot of people don't, even right down to the blue, like the blue shirt he even wears. That was on purpose. And
had no idea, but I am giving you a round of applause because Bruce would appreciate that.
Oh, we are aware that he has seen the puppet. He does know, and we got a thumbs up. So that's kind of cool.
There you go.
And Lenny, the guy with the bandana, may or may not be Tom Savini.
Oh,
Like loosely, yeah. So there's a few there hiding in there. Yeah.
I wanted the which was the old guy, the guy that's so far over the out of the realm because he's 31.
Tom is actually when we were gonna do it with actors, we had an actor actually cast for that role. And when we decided to do it with puppets, we made a puppet of him instead. Yeah.
So that wasn't Bob Ross or
No.
John Denver.
What's funny is the guy who was cast was a professional artist and a painter, which is funny that you say that. I never put that together. And probably was a John Denver fan.
Oh, probably was a John Denver fan. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you done, you know what? You need to, you really need to have a John Wick inspired puppet. I mean, that would be hilarious.
Oh, man.
What are you gonna do?
I think
with that?
Keanu would like it. I think Keanu would like it.
I think Keanu would absolutely love that.
You know what? I'm going to be the guy. You know, I've met Keanu Reeves many times, and we've had dinner together. And yeah, he'd be cool with it. No, I don't know the fucking guy. I don't know any. I don't even know you guys, man. I just want to be one of those. I just want to be one of those name droppers. I've never had the opportunity. So that's actually a dream of ours when we go to, because Chris is going to tell us about horror conventions, and we're going to go just so I could drop names. I was like, yeah, well, I know Chris Gierowski. Do you guys know? Yeah. No, me and him, we go way back. Yeah. You know, he babysits my kids sometimes. Yeah, I want to be a name dropper, so I have to get some names first.
You know what? If you're going to drop those names, at least have it backed by a good story rather than, yeah, he babysits my kid.
Oh no, I'll make shit up. I'll talk all the, you know, Chris
no.
and I.
You know, we saved a bus full of nuns together once. You know.
But okay, you guys are telling the stories wrong. I mean, good grief.
No shit, you had to be there.
No shit, there we were.
No shit, there we were. Chris and I just finished watching. We were having a slumber party, and we just finished watching American Idol, and we were brushing each other's hair and you know, gazing wistfully into each other's eyes, and one thing led to another, and yeah, you know, that's a story for a different day. But it was so intense that we both went bald. There you go. There it is, Chris. See, like we got it. You can laugh, you know. We're hot like that, dude.
Okay, so John, I'm going to jump in here and okay, those two will have it if they can remember the opening line.
Yeah, no. Shit, you had to be there. I like that one better anyway.
Yeah, no. See, you screwed it up again.
I'm sorry. I thought this was the fucking Podcasts. I thought it was. I must have been mistaken.
I'm sorry. I thought I was the producer. And
Yeah.
calls.
But you know what, John? Let me ask you a question.
It sounds like behind the scenes of one of my movies.
It is what I'm saying, and that's where the question is going. At the end of the day, who gets final say in what is about to happen here? John, take it away.
In our films, God. You know, it depends on the project. Chris is already laughing. It depends because he knows Ricky, who co-produced Ted with us and shot it. And he works with Elmwood. He's one of the guys who runs the company with me too. It really depends on the project and who has the most passion for it, who came up with it. There's four or five of us who really have that final input. At the end of the day, though, myself and Rick Passmore, who actually was the producer and cinematographer on Head, him and I usually have the final say on an edit. But like, we always make sure the writer has something to do, and if somebody else directed it, that they have something to say, because you don't want to leave those people out, because usually it's their vision in the first place. But it's such a round like question that goes in circles, because it really depends on the project too.
See, now I'd have thought it would have been the guy who's financing it. I would always thought it'd been him.
Fortunately for us, it's usually us anyways.
So
Unless we do, and even if we do get financing from outside, it's usually through sponsorships or Kickstarters. So then they just want to make sponsorships, just want to make sure their stuff shows up on screen, and Kickstarter people just want to see their name in the credit, which is great, and then get the product, of course.
How would you do product placement in a puppet movie?
All right, so I have a great example. We have 2 different series that we've done it with. One is called Steve the Vampire. It's about a kid who becomes a vampire, and PBR helps sponsor that. And their whole thing was we just want to see our logo somewhere in a couple of the episodes. So we did that, and then they held events for us to screen it, which was fun. And then we did another show called The Risley Brothers, which took place in a bar. And a lot of breweries just make sure our tap isn't at the bar. We have posters for our beers in the bar, things like that. And then they give you money to help make the project.
Oh wow, we're gonna have to throw you some cash for the next one then.
Yeah, your names will be in it, producers, whatever the case may be.
Well, we have an app coming out, so I need T-shirts. I need puppets wearing T-shirts with our logo on it. Yeah.
Well, temporarily anyway.
Commercial work and commissions. So a lot of the money that finances the films comes from custom puppets for people or for their own projects, or we do commission work for like TV commercials and things like that. So yeah.
We got to have the puppet. I'm staring at the guy behind you with the sunglasses. Which guy is that?
That puppet's name is Tricky.
Yeah.
He's that bar show we did. It was called The Risley Brothers. He's one of the main characters in it. And he also appears in the last feature film we made called Bernice 2. So he's that picture is from a scene in Bernice 2.
Yeah.
Bernice 2 is not a sequel to anything.
I dig that guy. He's got a fit and feel, not John Ritter in Three's Company, but John's buddy. You remember the greasy guy? That's
Larry.
Larry, yeah, he's got a Larry feel to me, man.
Larry, he's based on a real guy who's one of the main guys here at Elmwood named Pete, but he doesn't wear sunglasses all the time.
No, he's got a Larry feel to me. That's awesome. Go ahead, Belle.
All right, Nuclear Chicken. I'd totally watch and would love to watch, although I've got no friends, so even if I screamed from the rooftops, no one would care. But it doesn't keep me from screaming.
Well, Chicken needs puppets. If he had puppets at home, he'd have lots of friends.
Is what I'm saying, man. Nuclear Chicken, let's get you puppeted. Come on, man. Go ahead, Belle.
Maybe a slight case of multiple personality disorder when he started playing with the puppet.
I have that already. That's a funny thing, man. Give me a puppet and God help everybody, man. Because that guy, he has no filter. All right, this Scott, the puppet Scott.
That's one of the best parts about puppets is they can say the things and do the things that we can't.
That I can't say. Yeah.
They get away with it. Yeah.
If the police come, I'll just give them the puppet. Here you go, man. That's your man. You got him there, Officer Dick. Go ahead, Belle.
Wow. Okay, new type. If there's boobies, then count me in.
Is what I'm saying, dude. Puppet porn. All right, we need to puppetize "Don't Fuck in the Woods" because that movie.
Chris, let's go.
Chris, are you ready for that, dude? Look, how much money you need, dude, man? I'll see what we can do on our end. What? How much money do you need? How much do you need to make puppetize "Don't Fuck in the Woods"? Chris,
are we talking about the puppets, or are we talking about to make the another version of it?
Nah, to make another version of "Don't Fuck in the Woods," but do it with puppets. How much? Give me a number. He's adding. You can see him. He's adding.
He is. He's doing the mental math.
Well, you got to have the good quality puppets that John provides. So
yeah,
I'm thinking maybe at least $50K.
50. You know what? The funny thing, bro, is that we could probably come up with that for you. This is crypto, man. There's a lot of loose money out here, and
I mean,
you laugh, but you don't understand. Crypto suffers from the same thing that B and off-brand entertainment suffers from, and that's visibility. Yeah. You start to combine these. You start to combine these two things, and you start to bring communities together, and weird shit can happen. Weird shit can happen, and it can happen real quick. So, I mean, you can throw out that number, but I'm like, we could probably come up with that, Belle. I mean, we could probably get someone in there. I got to ask Chris, man.
It depends on how the market goes.
Oh, yeah, it's flat right now. It sucks balls.
I always tell people if you want to finance a film, just remember you're never getting your money back.
Oh, no, man. That's just boom, gone.
Worth it.
Well, we just had a major chain went nuclear 2 days ago, and $6 billion disappeared in 5 minutes. Oh yeah, that's the face right there, because that's the industry that Belle and I thrive in. So
Wow.
yeah,
So at least if they financed a movie, they'd have a copy of it to watch later.
at least there would be something to
Right?
show for it,
Yeah,
and
they have some
that might
history.
and that might be our pitch. At least you got something to show for it on this shit. But Chris, I got to ask you a question, man, because I don't know where I keep getting stuck on this. The opening, and I'm sorry, John, I'm not trying to step over your time at all, but
We're sharing this time. Go, Chris.
Yeah. Chris,
Please take over.
who is the actress in the introduction of Don't Fuck in the Woods Part 1? Who was that very first actress, the blonde, corn-fed Iowa girl? Who
I
was
knew
that?
this one was coming.
Brandy Mason.
Corn-fed
Brandy-
or porn-fed?
Oh, was she a porn girl?
Both. Yes.
I'm asking Chris, was she a porn girl, or is she just very
She-
adventurous?
She's adventurous. She does pictures and stuff. Like she does some risque pictures. But she's not afraid. She wasn't afraid to show the goods.
And that's what I was going to ask you, man. How do you start that conversation? You're the producer. You're going to meet an actress that's interested in being in your movie, and you have to tell her you're going to have to go completely naked and do a sex scene. How does that conversation go?
Well, luckily, my director Sean, he's the one that kind of since he's primarily working with them one-on-one, he shoots those himself. He kind of gets those done. But we did have the blonde girl in Don't Fuck in the Woods one, Nadia White. She is a adult star.
Is which one? That was the kind of skinny one, right?
The blonde one who was in the Fast Times at Ridgemont High homage scene.
Oh, that was glorious, dude.
Where she comes out of the
The
river.
That was Phoebe Cates, dude. Come on, man. Look, we're all just about the same age, and we all hit puberty at about the same time. And that was when Phoebe Cates was coming out of the pool and showed us exactly how heterosexual we were. That was a glorious moment, dude. A boy never forgets that, ever. Belle, you wouldn't understand, but it was a big deal for us.
Sure, there were
Yeah.
a lot of women who also woke up that day.
Went through
I'm
puberty
pre-
at that very moment. That's
I'm
awesome.
pretty sure that John is 100% correct in that assumption.
I don't know. I'm not asking. We're a don't ask, don't tell kind of show. All right, Belle, get back. Do we have any other additional comments?
All right. So, wow. So, nuclear chicken again. Oh my God, the puppet sequel needs a boo scene.
Needs a boo scene?
Oh, from what Chris was talking about earlier.
Yeah, can you put that in, dude? Can you put that? I will literally write you a
I
script.
feel like it's more Ohio based, maybe because that was Ohio, right, Chris?
Yeah, I was in Toledo. Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be in
Well-
a Don't Fuck in the Woods thing. I don't know. You tell me, man.
You know what?
I'll put it in a head sequel if we can make it happen.
You know what? Just
Right,
skip a
right.
couple. Just skip a couple states over and go to either Missouri or Iowa, and yeah, do it there.
We have to have this now, dude. You've got me incredibly interested. We have to have this, dude, because I gotta have it. Putting in that kind of meme stuff, man, is absolutely fantastic because it creates shorts, John. That's what we do is we clip them for shorts. Guess what gets all the visibility out here?
Yeah.
Shorts.
TikTok, baby.
That's all that gets it out there, man. That's all we need. You only need one little even semi-viral post, and suddenly 80,000 people just watch your movie. That's all it takes.
You know what? We should have this take place at the farm, because then there is a problem aunt right across the road that might just abandon her property that she stole.
There's that. That'll be the plan.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are solving problems.
That's
come
that's
on.
what they do. Go ahead, carry on, Bill.
All right, so nuclear chicken again. Puppets OnlyFans? Oh my God.
Now, I may or may not have said that, but there. All right, I'm gonna segue here for just a second. I see John's looking at his phone, and I don't know where Chris is, but
I just got a text from somebody saying they're watching the show, so I was like, "Thank you."
oh, is it? Hey, you know what? Anybody who's watching this, on behalf of John, on behalf of Chris, man, look, my heart goes out to them. They're doing us a favor. We're not doing them a favor.
Oh,
they're
you're doing us a favor too.
They're
trust me.
doing us a favor by
We
getting.
appreciate you having us.
Oh, dude, I'll have you on every goddamn night. I don't give a shit. You don't think I don't want to talk about horror movies? I don't want to talk about the shit I love, the shit that like shaped me as a person, the stuff that you guys like, the things that get John off. That's what I want to talk about. This is the introductory podcast, dude. I want to get back and really crack open your head and see what's in there, man. That's what we want to do. That's what we're trying to do here.
We need to get them all out to the farm and then really dive in deep and then go from there.
Let me ask you, how do you feel about peyote, John? Have you ever really tripped those kind of balls? Because that would be a great podcast. We'll just all go out there, we'll get some peyote, we'll get high as fuck, and we'll just spitball. Because I guarantee you,
I don't know if I can handle peyote anymore. I'm getting a little old, like
whatever you're thinking. I'm older than you, bro. You said you were born in 75?
Yeah.
I was 71, man. I'm
not by much.
Yeah, but enough.
I wish my dad was sitting next to me because he has a great peyote story, but I'm not going to share it. I'll let him someday do it somewhere in some documentary.
There might be some other things we can use other than peyote. We do know a shaman. We can find out.
Yeah, we got a crazy ass shaman out here. They'll tell you, hey, go ahead and drink this. It's going to change your life. Don't. But I invite you to, because that's where good shit happens, man. I mean, that's where the funny stuff. All right, Bell, comments, go.
Actually, yeah, Nuclear Chicken did say he was still listening, but he's driving now. Nobody else. What is wrong with you guys? You aren't commenting?
They will. They will. Because, see, Scott's had this dream forever. I'm going big screen here, man. You guys need to tune in because I've had this dream forever. I was deployed. My very last deployment was to Djibouti, Africa. And I was out there for a year. This was year 26 of my Navy career. And they said, I'm ready to retire. And they said, hey, why don't you go out to Djibouti, Africa and go to JSOC? I'm not expecting you to know the acronyms. I was working 12 on, 12 off out there for 9.5 straight months. I did not get a day off at all. That's it. That's all you did is work, come home, shower, sleep, go. So during my working hours, if I got bored, I started to write. I've been writing shit my entire life. My entire life I've been writing. And I tend to write shorter stuff, not novels, because I don't have that kind of attention span. Lots of short stories, novellas, shit like that. And it's always been my dream to combine all of those into an anthology. I love anthologies. When we're talking about movie stuff, I love anthologies. I'd love to see 8 to 12 minute little clips strung together, 5 or 6 of them with bookends. Is that what you called it, Chris? You told me it was something. It was bookends or something like
the
that.
wraparound story.
Yeah, the wraparound. So I've wanted to do this forever, Ben. I have hundreds of these things, but I have some that are my favorites. I'm very heavily inspired by Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, that kind of stuff. That's what gets me off. So they're not all the same thing, slasher horror. Some are psychological horror. Some are just weird shit. But I've always wanted to take all those things, spin them together, write the screenplays, and go and get that made. And it's just kind of funny that now that I'm in a moneyed position and that I'm meeting directors, producers, people who actually know how all this shit happened, that I don't want to say kismet, but it's real close to it. So eventually you guys are going to be on your asses. You're going to have nothing to do right now because there's nothing really going on. And then Scott's going to spin up here with this big ass script and say, here, make this, tell me how much, and I'm just going to give you money. The kicker is that we know we need, the only way you can do it successfully is to use different directors. John, now you're in this business. You have your style. Am I mistaken? Or do you take it and you realize your own vision on this? Or do you just simply do what you're told?
With what we do, I just do what I want to do. You know, how I envision it. Look, because we're making our own movies. If I'm a hired director, yeah, I'm going to try and make the movie the way they want it. Absolutely. Yeah. But with Elmwood Productions, even if I'm directing something somebody else wrote, I do want to keep it as close to what the writer came up with, because if I liked it enough to direct it, that means it's got to be good.
Yeah, but see, I don't want my vision on this. Here's my story. I want you to read my story and tell me the way you see it and shoot it that way. Is that something that you're capable
with puppets, there's a certain way of shooting too, so we'd have to do that. Yeah.
See, now Bella's read this story called Always Read the Label. Do you think that would be good in puppet form?
I think that would be amazing in
amazing. That's where I'm talking about. It's kismet. Sometimes shit just works out that way. You
need to send these to a copy of that story.
It's very Tales of the Crypt. Tales from the
Crypt. We love
Cryptish.
that stuff. The whole Graveyard Guild thing that we do. The guy who hosted Head, it is Tales from the Crypty. He hosts other horror films.
And
so
that's why Gil resonated with me so well. I was like, fuck, yes, this guy gets me. I like his movie. I liked it before it even started. I was like, this guy gets me. All right.
A combination of the Count and the Crypt Keeper.
The Count. She said the Count.
The Graveyard Gil is the Count. If Crypt Keeper and the Count had an affair with John Waters. That's what the idea for the puppet was. Yep.
Oh, that is fantastic. All right, well, we don't have any other questions, right?
No.
No,
people are sucking tonight.
Well, you know what? We went a little bit over time, but I don't want this one to end because I'm having such a good time on this stream right now. I can't miss it. What are the odds, John or Chris, that you guys are still friendly with any of your actors?
Absolutely.
See, now, how much fun would it be to get Chris?
Yeah, I still know some.
No, some. Chris, you kind of just flush them away, don't you? You use them like a tool and then you throw them away. Am I getting that vibe from you?
Wow.
Well, I mean, if they get killed off, unless we bring their twin brother or sister back in the sequel.
Oh, what?
I think that might have just been a bit of a spoiler.
You know what would be fun as shit that nobody does, or at least not that I'm aware of. Puppet. What are like the daytime soap operas? How funny would that be with puppets? But you can go over the top with them because there's nothing you can't do to a puppet. It's like zombies and Nazis. Anything's cool that you put on them on film. You could stick them through a goddamn branch shredder. You could it doesn't matter. Everybody's cool with it. But it seems like you could do the same thing with puppets. There's really no level of vulgarity that you can't perform with them. Or am I misunderstanding this whole culture here?
Right. You can abuse them, especially if they're the bad guy.
Especially if they're like the Satan worshippers at the end of Head. I didn't know it was going to be Satan worshippers. I had no idea which way it was going to go. I did like the Tree of Woe. I did like that.
Thank you. That was in real life. That was pretty creepy when we walked because we left the heads on it. We'd go back to it like a week later and they'd still be there. And it was bizarre. Yeah. That
was weird, man. That had the whole Conan feel to me, man. The whole Tree of Woe. Or no, 300. 300 when they had all the bodies up there in the trees. That was the impression that I got out of that. You guys have really got to watch this movie. If you haven't seen the movie Head, dude, it's available on Tubi. You can watch it right now. It doesn't cost you shit. You can watch it over on Omniflix. Ours is up. It's live. It'll be there forever. Nothing will ever make that go away. So yeah, you really got to watch this, man. It was a fun movie. There's nothing wrong with fun.
And Toot chiming in saying, okay, I missed the movie over the weekend, but I feel I need to see this.
Please, yes.
Yes, you do.
You know what? And don't fuck in the woods, dude. You really got to see.
Great double feature right there.
I don't know. I don't know how you feel about full frontal nudity, but you're gonna see it. But they were still really good. There were no penises
in the medical
visible
industry.
in that.
She doesn't care about full frontal nudity.
Yeah, but nobody wants to see a penis. Nobody. There's a reason that directors and producers don't ever put those on.
We may or may not have had puppet penises in past projects.
I'm a little disturbed now.
I mean, I have no opposition to seeing most penises.
Nobody likes to see penises. Are we all good here, Mo?
We're all good.
Okay. John, if you could, sir, please. You have the full screen. You're looking at it right now. That's all you. You get the last word. Chris gets even the laster word. Then Belle's going to talk us out of here, man. So go ahead.
Say, we got to give Chris the last word after me. I just want to say thanks for having us on. I really appreciate it. Had a good time. I'm going to do the cheesy plugs and ElmoProductions.com. You can find everything else there and subscribe to our YouTube. Subscribe to this YouTube, too, the one you're watching this on. K-Pod. You got to make sure you line up for that. Thank you guys for having us on. Yeah.
We had a wonderful time. Chris, second to the last word, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, thanks for enjoying Don't Fuck in the Woods. And then, us starting to go back and forth and kind of brought this about. And, thanks for watching Head. Thanks for plugging our stuff. And we will definitely plug your stuff. Yeah, we appreciate it.
What are you guys doing Saturday? I'd like to lock this down right now. What are you guys doing Saturday at 1800 Central?
I will be watching one of our puppeteers and one of our friends who's a musician playing a gig.
Oh, boo! What are you doing, Chris? What are you doing, Chris? We gotta get part two out there, bro.
I'm probably going to be doing family stuff. We have it's Easter weekend, and we were going to go
Easter?
today. We were going to be going today to
Oh,
this
shit.
Easter
Yeah.
farm.
I can't do it Saturday either. I forgot. Sorry. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for blowing us up.
Yeah.
Anyway, bro, back, talk it up, talk us out, man. Plug anything that you want, man. Now's a good time.
Oh, project that that's doing the film festival circuit right now is called McCurdy Point, found footage horror film. That's something that you can look out for. It's playing in South Carolina at the Crimson Screen Horror Film Festival, Mother's Day weekend. And today I just had an article on Deadline come out about the new project that I've worked on called Sweetest Day.
Sweetest Day, and I did. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. And I did read the article, man. Look, you got a real Walking Dead feel with that movie, dude. I got a hunch. Whatever you're looking for out of this, I got a hunch you're gonna get. That looked really great. The article was fantastic.
We have a hand coming out of the grave. So
it is what I'm saying, man. I think you hit every wicket on this one. I think you guys are going to be in good shape. For me, as a host, I cannot thank you guys enough for joining me. I hope we can do it again. I'd love to, man. I want to cover you guys' work. You guys are fantastic, very good guests, and I love creatives. So with that, going to turn it over to my show producer, the one, the only, the original, the Mighty Belle. She's going to talk us up, take us out. Stand by, guys, please. Belle, do your thing.
All right, again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening,
Camera 2, Belle.
we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you throw our way. Now, with that being said, we've got a special one for you coming up tomorrow night. We're doing karaoke in studio. And the people who are hosting the karaoke also play live music. So you definitely don't want to miss out. Now, in between now and tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Chris and John, we will all coordinate and we will get a firm date set so we can also announce when we are going to be airing Don't Fuck in the Woods 2 on the Omniflix. Again, guys, we cannot thank you enough for joining us this evening, and we'll see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.